Hey guys, it's Calvin from Raw Coding, and today I'll be showing you 3 examples using while loops for various Python programs. I'll be using the idle IDE. Our first program will check if we enter a password correctly. To start, we create a variable called password. We then write a while loop. If the variable password does not equal the word secret, then we carry on looping. We reassign the value of the variable password to the value the user types in. We use an if statement to check if the value entered is equal to the word secret. If the word secret is entered, then the while loop will end because the variable password will be equal to the word secret. If the password value is not secret, then we'll carry on looping. I'm going to run our program. It will ask me to enter the password. So I'm going to say giraffe, which is obviously the incorrect password. It will tell me, sorry, the value entered is incorrect. Try again. I'll enter the word secret. It will come out of the while loop and provide the user with feedback by saying, thank you, you have entered the correct password. Let's move on to our next program. Our next program will use a boolean to handle the status of the while loop. We will ask the user to input a number between 10 and 20. We will start by creating a variable called invalid. We will set this variable to true. We create a user input variable called number that takes in an integer data type. If the value entered is between 10 and 20, then we will end our while loop. If this is not true, we will tell our user to try again, and the while loop will continue to loop. Outside of our while loop, we'll provide feedback to the user on the number they entered. Let's run our program. The program asks me to enter a number between 10 and 20. I'm going to enter the number 45. And as you can see, it carries on looping by saying, sorry, the number must be between 10 and 20, please try again. I'm going to say 15. It ends the while loop, provides me some information to the number I entered, and says this is a valid number. I'm now going to move on to my final example. Our final program example is a random number guessing game. A random number will be generated by our program. The program will guide the player in guessing the generated number. We will start this program by importing the random library. We'll create a variable called random number and use the random.randint function from the imported library. This function takes in 2 arguments, the start and the end of our number range. Here we assign a random number between 1 and 100 to the random number variable. We'll create a variable called guesses, which will count how many guesses have been made by the player. Then we'll create our while loop. A try and except method will ensure that our program doesn't crash if any other variable than a number is entered. We'll create a variable called num, which will take in an integer data type. If the value entered by the player is lower than the generated number, we will tell our player to guess higher. On the contrary, if our player guesses a number higher than the generated number, it will tell our player to guess lower. The program will loop over and over again until the user guesses the answer correctly. If the number entered by the player is equal to the generated number, we will end our while loop. Every time the player makes a guess, we will add 1 to the counter. At the bottom, we have our except function that will handle any value errors. Finally, we will tell the user how many guesses it took for them to reach the correct answer. Let's run our program. I'm not sure what the random number generated is, so I'm just going to try and guess it. So I've entered 45, it says guess lower, I'm going to say 20, guess lower, I'm going to say 9, guess higher, 10, let's say 16, higher, 18. So I guessed the number in 6 chances. This concludes the video on examples of while loops. If you would like to learn more about Python, please do check out my YouTube channel and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.